had a meeting, and I just want to clarify that we're going to do the meeting the same way when we get down to the petition hearings. We'll call staff. Staff will make their presentation. I'll open for public comment, 10 minutes for applicant, 10 minutes for anyone that is here that is against, and then we'll close public hearing and go into voting, correct?
Yes, and we will be doing public hearings through comments on YouTube, which Marissa will be able to read, and emails to the planning email address, which Dana has in front of him.
And if I may interject real quick, so when we have a motion and we're about to vote, I'm going to name off everybody that's part of the board, and you would just say yay or nay. So we won't do our usual I as in together. We'll make it very clear, and I'll read everybody that's present and then count accordingly.
Okay. And also one other, I know this is the part that people hate, but if you can mute your microphones, because I already hear background noise whenever you're not speaking. We're about to do roll call, so you can go ahead and leave them unmuted for now. But whenever you're not speaking and somebody's doing a presentation, please mute your microphones, as will I. All right, I'm ready when you are.
You can go ahead and open the meeting, sir.
All right, my name is Aaron Johnson, Chair of the City of South Fulton Board of Zoning Board of Appeals. We're going to call to order our August 20th, 2020 meeting. In that, it is 1:03. And now we will go to roll call. I will do roll call. DeAndre Mathis. You can just wave your hands if I see you. Here, all right. Michael Carson.
Michael will not be with us. He had a death in the family, so.
Oh, that's right. His father passed away.
Yes. Yes.
Make sure if anybody can reach out to him, you do that.
And sorry, we just have a voice here because I don't think everybody's on visual. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, Mr. Mathis is here. He raised his hand. He tried to say hello. I cut him off. He's here. Mr. Mathis is here. Mr. Carson is not here. Miss Elias.
Present.
Mr. Ham.
Present.
Ms. Harris.
Present.
Mr. Dawson.
Present.
I thought I saw Mr. Dawson. Oh, there he is.
Present.
All right. And Ms. Jenkins.
Present.
All right. That is roll call. You got everybody, Dana?
I do believe I see. I guess the only one that is not with us is Mr. Michael Carson, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
All right. And now we will go into approval of the minutes from the February 20th meeting. Check, you would have received the minutes from Dana a few days ago for your review. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or if not, I will entertain a motion for the February minutes.
Mr. Chair, I do have one correction to
Okay.
the minutes, and it's just to the correct spelling of my first name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Geneasa, and then I believe Elias is spelled correctly, Elias.
All right. So Dana, you got that?
Yeah, yes, I do. I got that.
All right.
Thank you.
So now I'll entertain a motion for the minutes. It looks like Mr. Mathis is trying to make a motion. Just let you know, Mr. Mathis, we can't hear you, but. Yeah, I see your mouth moving, but I don't. Does anybody else hear him? Okay.
Oh,
Is there a second?
I second.
Second.
Ms. Harris, I'll take yours. I heard it just before. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And I'll do a roll call on that one, please. Okay,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do a roll call on that, on the vote.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Aaron Johnson?
I thought I didn't vote.
Oh, correct. DeAndre Mathis? Do you see him moving?
Dana, I'm gonna give you one quick idea that may be helpful.
Yes.
If you put it back, can you not see the screen at all?
Well, I see the screen of the presentation. Everybody else is on the side, so it got smaller.
Okay, if you go back to the view, that way they can just raise their hands and it'll move a little faster.
Okay, so then DeAndre Mathis, thank you. Janicia Elias,
Yes.
thank you. Roosevelt Ham, thank you. Amethyst Harris, Ms. Harris, thank you. Robert Dawson,
Yes.
thank you. And Ms. Brenda Jenkins, thank you. All right, we have, the vote is unanimous, thank you.
All right. Now that that is taken care of, we have no old business. We'll move right into new business. We will now listen to BT 0-001, which is the Oglesby Road petition. Staff.
Good afternoon. This is Nathan Lombardo with the City of South Fulton. V2001 3975 Oglesby Road. The petitioner here is asking for variances on setbacks requirements to build a single-family house. The lot here, as you'll see, has a relatively shallow depth, and it has wetland areas that need to be undisturbed. There is a large grove of trees in the property the petitioner does not wish to disturb. It is in a single-family area, and the staff recommendation is approval based on consideration B, application of the particular provision of the zoning ordinance due to extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to that piece of property because of size, shape, and topography. And if we can go to the next slide, please. You can see the zoning here of the site and its aerial. It's in a residential area and it is an undeveloped lot. There's a sketch plan of what the owner was conceptually thinking of doing. Thank you very much. And is the petitioner on the call?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, just tell us your name and what you're hoping to do here and any questions or comments that the board may have for you.
Well, hold on one second.
Sure.
Dana, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that we had to open for public comment and then we call for the petitioner.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. So Nathan, if I'm not mistaken, the way we'll normally do it is staff will do the presentation, we open for public comment, and then the petitioner comes up. I'm sorry, the applicant comes up they have 10 minutes, and then if there's anyone that is here against, they will have 10 minutes as well. The applicant can use 7 minutes of their 10 minutes and save 3 for a rebuttal if they like. If they so choose, but either way, you'll get a total of 10 minutes. And if nobody comes against you, then we just continue going. We'll close public hearing.
Sounds great. And I apologize for that.
No problem. No problem. We're all brand new on this.
Sorry
So
about that. It's been a while.
yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify first.
Yeah.
So did we have to do, I can't remember if the last meeting, and I apologize to everybody here, did we have to actually take a motion or we just open for public comment?
We normally took the motion.
Okay, cool.
And we took the motion to close it as well.
All right, no problem. All right, motion to open public comment for V20-001.
Sir, you're on.
Wait,
Hold on just a minute, Mr. Stevens. Are we taking I thought we were taking a vote.
To open public comment, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there a motion to open public comment? Ms. Elias made the motion. Do I get a second?
Second.
Second. has been, all in favor, please say aye.
I'm sorry, who second, please?
The second was Mr. Ham.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor, please just raise your hand. All right, we can move forward. And the applicant, I think, was Mr. Stevens. If everybody else can mute your microphones, please, Mr. Stevens.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, go ahead, sir. You have 10 minutes.
Okay, so I would like to build a home on this lot. It's 110 feet deep or 120 feet deep. There's a grove of trees in the middle, very, very nice mature oak trees. I don't want to cut them or cut into their root systems if possible. The home I'm proposing, I think, is like 38 feet by 25 feet. It's not a very large home. There will be a porch on one side and a carport in the front. But in order to build that and not disturb the root systems, I would need to slide closer to the side lot. And then it's also zoned AG1, which does not, I mean, the setbacks are so great for AG1 that there would only be like a 9.5 foot strip that would, you know, be buildable. So that sketch is not to scale. I did put on a conceptual site plan that was drawn up by a civil engineer that was part of my packet, but that was a 24 by 36 inch sheet. So I don't know if that was, but I mean, the sketch is conceptually what I'm, you know, hoping to end up with if the variance passes. And that, I mean, that's really all I needed to say unless somebody else has a question or concern.
All right, is there anyone against? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Does any member have any questions? And if so, please unmute your mic because I can't see everyone. Oh, there's, all right, I see you, Ms. Elias, go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to verify from Mr. Stevens that he is not going to encroach into the stream buffer and that you are going to protect the existing trees on the site.
Absolutely. In fact, I don't think there's a requirement to protect the trees, but it's my desire to protect those trees. So I will be fencing those off so that any contractors can't get anywhere close to them with any kind of equipment or whatever. And yes, I will abide by the setback from those state waters. I think I've still got 50 or 60 feet in the clear before it would, you know, come to my foundation. So, yes.
So you are going to mark the trees so that they will not be disturbed.
Typically I'm a contractor. I mean, I typically use what are called T-posts and then that's like orange snow fence. Not that we have snow in Atlanta all that often, but it would just create a physical barrier. I mean, someone could step over it if they wanted to, but that would just discourage anyone from going into that grove of trees while construction is happening. I mean, I'm not going to paint X's on them or whatever. I mean, I don't want to mark them up in any other way. If you have recommendations, I can tie ribbons around them, whatever you'd like me to do. But
no, as long as it's just clearly marked that they're not to be disturbed.
Absolutely.
All right, do we have any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, we just need to check in with YouTube and the city email address.
Oh, I mean, right now for the committee. The board, any board member has a question? No, okay. Thank you. Now we'll go to anyone that is against. Dana, we have someone.
I don't
I'm
have
sorry,
any,
Marissa.
I don't have any comments from the planning email, but Marissa, I do believe she has some comments.
Okay.
I have two questions. One is from DJ Inc. OG, and the other one is also, he wants to know what is the proposed square footage for the house, and will the house be used as a rental property?
Is this someone that is for or against?
He hasn't
Or are they making
said-
comment, or are they just asking?
I believe they're just general questions.
Okay. So at this point, I just want to make sure we're doing it properly. Because generally we have the time period for, and then the time period against, and then we close. Dana, should we? I mean, I think we have ample time for either one, but just for clarification, where should these questions fall into?
I guess the person is not really clarifying if they're for or against. So if we were back at home base, that person would just step up and just say they want to know, provide some information. So it won't be a dialogue that's back and forth. That comment would be read and that's it. And then the next comment would be read, that's it. And the applicant has the opportunity to respond to those.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, Marissa, can you please read those one more time?
Yes. DJ Inc. OG has clarified that he remains neutral. And his question is, what is the square footage for the house? And will the house be used as a rental property?
Mr. Stevens?
Okay, so just using the calculator on my phone, I mean, this is still very conceptual, but I'm showing the conditioned area as 1,900 square feet. And no, I intend to dwell there and not rent it out.
All right. So any other questions from the board?
I think we have one more
I
comment.
saw a finger
YouTube.
going up. I'm sorry, go ahead, Dana.
I think we had one more comment from YouTube, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Marissa,
Those are all the comments that I see at this time.
great.
Yeah, I thought she said two. Ms. Elias?
Yes, since Mr. Stevens mentioned that the house proposed would be 1,900 square feet, I would like for staff to verify that that square footage is consistent with the AG1 zoning district.
In terms of the allowable size of house they can build,
Yes.
I will need to look up the zoning and see if it's there. So I will need just a minute to check that.
So I'm seeing a minimum lot area, but there isn't a minimum home size in the AG1 conditions that is listed.
Okay, so there's no minimum building area in the AG1 zoning district.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if we have no more questions, I will entertain a motion to close public comment.
I move to close public comment on V20-001.
Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
All right, Dana, that was Mr. Ham that made the motion and Mrs. Harris that seconded the motion.
Thank you.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that closes public comment on V20-001. Is there a motion for this item?
I move to
I hope that wasn't me, but did it go out?
Yeah, it broke up for me too.
Mr. Ham, are you making a motion to approve? You're muted.
all right, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I move to approve the variance applied on V20-001.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right, Dana, that was Mr. Ham making the motion and Ms. Jenkins that seconded. Any further comment? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Elias.
Mr. Chair, just for clarification, if the maker of the motion doesn't mind, could we add that the variance application is approved to reduce the front yard setback from 60 feet to 45 feet, the side yard setback from 25 feet to 10 feet, and the rear yard setback from 50 feet to 15 feet?
I will accept the amendment to the motion.
All right. Moved, seconded, and properly amended. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Marissa, excuse me, Marissa, can you put everybody on full screen, please? Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Again,
I can do the quick roll call.
okay.
Okay. Mr. DeAndre? Okay, thank you. Ms. Elias? Thank you. Mr. Ham? Thank you. Ms. Harris? Thank you. Mr. Dawson? Thank you. Ms. Jenkins? Thank you. The vote is unanimous for approval.
All right. And just to be clear, V, that's approved. V20-002 was removed, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna ask that this property, Creel Road, was inadvertently advertised, and I apologize for that. The property is zone CUP, and our zoning ordinance specifically prohibits properties zone CUP from getting variances. And so we ask that we just make a motion to withdraw this case from the agenda.
All right, do I have a motion to withdraw this case from the agenda? All right, so we don't have everybody here. All right, Ms. Harris,
Creel Road.
make the motion.
Yes, I move, yeah, remove the Creel Road application from consideration.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Ms. Jenkins, second. Dana, that was Ms. Harris that made the motion and Ms. Jenkins that seconded the motion.
Thank you, sir.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Dana, it was unanimous. It was unanimous. All right, so we're gonna move on to V20-003, Campbellton Rd.
Thank
Staff.
you very much.
Mhm.
This applicant here is asking for a variance for relief of the sign limitations. This application is to add a pharmacy drive-through sign on the outside of a new Publix. It would be in line with all the existing Publix stores, and staff is recommending approval of this case as well.
Okay, that was a very quick one there. All right, do I have a motion to go into open public comment for V20-003?
I move to open public comment on V20-003.
I second.
All right, Dana, Mr. Ham made the motion and Ms. Jenkins seconded the motion.
Thank you.
All in favor, please say aye. Or raise your hand.
Aye.
All right, Dana, it was unanimous.
Aye.
Thank
All
you.
right, who is going to be, who's the applicant for V20-003?
That'll be Miss Valerie. Okay. Valerie, are you there?
All right, Valerie O'Kane something?
Yes.
If you're there, you're muted right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, as was mentioned, it's part of a standard Publix package. This particular sign would just be on the front elevation, but it would be on the left side, which is the same side as the pharmacy drive-through. The pharmacy drive-through is on the actual left. Do we have? Oh, we do. Yeah, so it's going to be on the front elevation, but it'd be favoring on the left side. So what it will help with is for traffic coming into the shopping center, we'll be able to see that the Publix has a pharmacy drive-through, and it would direct the traffic towards the pharmacy drive-through. Every single Publix that has a pharmacy drive-through does have this particular sign, so it's standard and it's not straying from the norm.
All right, is that it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, is anyone else speaking in favor of this?
This is John Perlman. I'm the developer. Aaron, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in the building in a while.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. There is a rendering floating around if you want to show that to everybody. You have the rendering. Just to correct a dimension that Dana gave you, it's far more than 15 feet excuse me, away from the other part of the building. This is on the far left edge of the building, and it does denote where the pharmacy drive-through is located. The drive-through pharmacy is part of Publix's goal to be a full-service, state-of-the-art store, in this location. This store has every last bell and whistle, and it's consistent with the plans that we've been showing you since the start. So, if I'm happy to answer any questions also, if there are any.
All right, staff, do we have the rendering that he's referring to?
I am looking for that now.
I am doing the same. I don't see it in my immediate application package, but I could just be overlooking it.
All right, so while you are looking for that, is there anybody else to speak in favor of the sign addition?
I have no comments in the YouTube chat.
Okay. Well, for the moment, we'll go ahead and, is there anybody against? So when you say no comments, that's nobody is here to speak against it either.
Yes, I have no comments against it either.
Okay. All right, do we have any questions from the board in lieu of having the rendering that Mr. Perlman mentioned? No questions? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Elias.
Yeah, and this is mostly for staff, just for clarification. The variance request is consistent with the sign regulations of the Sandtown Overlay District, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The Sandtown Overlay District talks about window signs and monument signs. It doesn't really have anything in there necessarily that speaks to wall signs.
Okay.
General sign ordinance in Article 33 notes that the applicant is allowed to have one sign per wall that faces the street, and the applicant is asking for an additional sign that will note that there is a drive-through pharmacy in addition to the standard big green Publix sign that is going to be on the front center of the building. So the variance is for an additional sign, and it is not against what's in the Sandtown overlay guideline.
Okay, so staff is recommending approval based on variance criteria number 1, that it's in harmony with the zoning ordinance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. Are there any other questions? Seeing none.
I'm almost there.
Oh, you're still looking for the
I got,
rendering?
I had an error on my PDF. Marissa, can I share the screen? Thank you. Marissa, I'm still not able to share my screen yet. Sorry for the delay.
No problem. Well, actually, let me ask, is there anybody on the board that wants to see it, is not familiar with the drive-through
Here we
sign?
go.
Oh, here it is.
Can you all see?
Yes.
All right. So this is it right here.
Dana, can you zoom back and show them the entire facade?
It's actually, I can show a different section. I don't think they're showing the whole.
There you go.
Yeah, so it just split. So this is
Yeah,
the
it
main
splits.
area. Of course,
Okay.
this is the entrance, and then
Okay. So you can see the building front is, sorry, I need reading glasses. The building front is 240 feet long. The public's center entrance is off-centered, it's 40 feet wide. And so the pharmacy is way off to the left.
Okay.
And if you look where it says MTL 1 and 2, that is the drive-through lane itself.
And if you go back to the site plan, you can truly see what John's speaking about, how long, and you can see where sign B is located compared to where, yeah.
All right. If there are no further questions, I'm going to call for a vote or ask for a vote to close public comment on 420-003.
This is Brenda. I move to close comment on variance V20-003.
Okay. And Mr. Dawson. All right. Dana, Ms. Jenkins made the motion to close and Mr. Dawson seconded the motion.
okay,
All in-
I'm gonna do a show of hands.
Yeah.
Mr. DeAndre. Thank you. Miss Elias. Thank you. Mr. Ham. Thank you. Ms. Harris. Thank you. Mr. Dawson. Thank you. Ms. Jenkins. Thank you. It is unanimous.
All right. So we have
I'm
now.
sorry, I did miss who made the approval in the second. I did miss that one.
Ms. Jenkins made the a motion and Mr. Dawson made the second.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. This is Mr. Perlman speaking again. Thank you, everybody. And the scheduled opening is the 21st of October. If all goes
Mr.
well.
Perlman, we hadn't voted yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was voting.
All right. So I'll entertain a motion on V20-003.
I move that we approve to allow for the additional pharmacy drive-through sign
All right. So Ms. Harris.
on 20-03.
Okay. Ms. Harris made the motion and Mr. Mathis seconded the motion. I see you. Got that, Dana?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
All right. All in favor, please raise your hand.
I'll do the call. Oh, I see it. I see it now. Keep your hands up for me just real quick, please.
Anybody opposed?
Thank you.
All right. It was unanimous.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm going to go home and hit myself over the head with Robert's Rules of Order. And thank you, everybody. And the grand opening is scheduled October 21st. And we hope to see you there at social distance.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now we have 420-004 Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Staff.
Yes, this applicant here seeks relief from the architectural standards of the Sandtown Overlay District, and it asks to be held to the adjacent Fulton Industrial Business Overlay Standards. This particular parcel is the only industrial parcel in the Sandtown Overlay, and those requirements were tailored more toward residential and commercial developments. It just does not have any frontage in the city of South Fulton on Fulton Industrial, but all the traffic from the site would exit that way. So the frontage of the site on Fulton Industrial is not in the city of South Fulton. Our recommendation here is for approval under category A to be with the general intent of the zoning ordinance. If we go to the next slide, please. You can see where the parcel is. It is a very large parcel. And as I mentioned, the Fulton industrial frontage just happens to not be in the city of South Fulton, but all the traffic that would be coming and going to and from this site would be exiting onto Fulton Industrial and not on the smaller streets. You can go to the next slide, please. And here's a proposed layout of the development that they want to construct.
All right, Nathan, we're going to work together here. Just let me know if you're done or when you're
Oh,
done.
okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sure. Well, I am done. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Now we want to open, I'll entertain a motion to open public comment for V20-004.
I move to open public comment on V20-004.
Second.
All right, Dana, that was Ms. Jenkins that made the motion and Mr. Ham that seconded the motion.
Great, thank you.
All in favor of the motion, please say aye or raise your hand. All right, any opposed? All right, Dana, it was unanimous.
Thank you.
All right, who's the applicant for 420-004?
Good afternoon. My name is Henry Bailey, counsel for the applicant, an attorney at Morse, Manning, and Martin here in the city of Atlanta. The applicant is CRP/CHI Fulton Industrial Owner, LLC. The applicant is represented here on the call today by one John Bateman. We've got a short slide presentation, if that is helpful, that we would like to share with you all. So is it possible for me to share the screen?
That's a Marissa question.
Yes, you may.
All right. Can you all see that? Can you all see that?
I think, yes.
Yes, we do.
All right, so at this time, I'll introduce John Bateman, and John will take over from here and go through the slides. John, you there?
Yes, thanks, Henry. Just confirm you can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you.
Great. Thank you, Chairman Johnson and board members. As Henry mentioned, my name is John Bateman, and I am here representing the applicant, Crow Holdings Industrial. We're the future owner and developer of the property. We've got a few slides that will hopefully help answer some of your questions, and then obviously we are happy to answer any further questions afterwards. Henry, if you will move through, thank you. So this first slide outlines the aerial view and the property boundaries. As you can see, there is a portion of frontage on the property along Fulton Industrial Boulevard. That portion of the property is located within Fulton County. West of the of the property as well as within Fulton County. And the same variances that we are asking for today were approved by Fulton County in 2019. This is another outline of the property on the zoning map. As you can see here, the entire property that we will be developing is within the M2 portion of the zoning. There's no part of the property that we are developing within the mixed zoning area. The variances we're here to discuss all relate to a number of items within the Sandtown overlay. As Nathan mentioned, the Sandtown overlay does not have any other industrial land, which is why we believe the requirements are not written or intended for this type of development. They were also written with somewhat outdated construction methods, not taking into account current design practices. For example, the reinforced concrete tilt up and a low pitch roof. And then there are also a couple examples of the variances that don't allow for more energy efficient solutions, which is LED lighting and the TPO white roofs. As I mentioned, all the variances were approved by Fulton County for the portion of the property that is within Fulton County. And they are all consistent with the adjacent Fulton Industrial Business District. The other slides, which you've seen through the zoning packet and agenda, are our site plans. We are a long distance off of Riverside Drive. This shows our only access off of Fulton Industrial. And you can see there's large buffered areas as well. We are not asking for any variances for any of the buffers or any of the other items. These are all just related to the architectural standards of the overlay district. We've been working with Sandtown Executive Board throughout the duration of the project. And we've also been working with the Fulton Industrial Boulevard Community Improvement District as well. Happy to answer any other questions on our project.
Is there any slide you all want me to go back to, or should I stop sharing the screen? Or?
I think you can, yeah, unless there's.
I'll just go here.
All right, if that completes, is that it, Mr. Bailey, just for now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Anybody have any questions? Any board members have any questions for Mr. Bailey or Mr. Bateman? Mr. Elias?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attorney Bailey, excuse me, or Mr. Bateman, the site you have is 90 acres. So is it correct to, and I noticed it has 2 zoning districts on it. Mm-hmm. So you're only developing on the portion of the 90 acres that's zone heavy industrial.
That's correct.
Do you have any intention at any other time to develop on that mixed piece, the portion of the property that's zone mixed?
We do not own any of the property that is zoned mixed. That is owned by a group called Walton. So I cannot speak for them.
So is that a separate parcel from your 90 acres?
Correct. We are subdividing this this parcel out of the 90 acre parcel that we are developing will be subdivided out of the parcel, the greater parcel that I believe is in the zoning packet.
Oh, so the subdivide hasn't taken place then?
It has not.
Okay. And if you subdivide the parcel, does the portion that's still zone mixed will it still have access from a public right of way?
Yes, ma'am, that will be a requirement of the subdivision.
Okay. And I heard you mention that you discussed your application with the Sandtown Neighborhood Association Executive Board. What were the comments they provided? Because this is an extensive variance. It's a 12-part variance to their overlay district. And that's very extensive. And essentially, you're requesting to substitute the Sandtown overlay requirements for the Fulton Industrial Overlay District requirements. What were some of those comments the executive board provided, and did they say that they were supporting your variance request, your 12-part variance request?
Yes, ma'am. The two comments that we received were, one, if we had any end users for the project, which we do not at this time. These type of developments normally require construction before you secure a tenant. The second question we received was, will there be any access on Riverside Drive? Which there will not be. The only access will be on Fulton Industrial Boulevard. The Sandtown community provided recommendation for approval for the same variances that were requested with Fulton County when we went through this process in 2019. We continue to work. We have a community benefit agreement with the Sandtown community, which we continually keep in contact. They haven't had meetings over the last few months due to the pandemic, but we have a great relationship with the Sandtown Community Executive Board and Chairwoman Davis.
Okay, you all did a variance application in 2019 or 2016?
2019 through Fulton County.
For the piece that's in Fulton County. Only, not.
Okay.
Because all of it's in Fulton County, right? Yeah.
Sorry, the property is split, City of South Fulton and Fulton County. So we went through the part of the property that's in Fulton County, which is where the frontage is on Fulton Industrial Boulevard in 2019.
Okay. I didn't know okay. Nope. And the Sandtown Executive Board supports your 12-part variance to their overlay district?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, I bet you every question was just asked. Are there any other questions from the board?
I had one more question.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dawson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What type of tenants would be proposed for this location?
The tenants that we're targeting are mostly in either fulfillment or other light industrial warehouse and storage type uses. That's what we are designing the buildings for. We have spoken to a couple tenants that are on Fulton Industrial and either are out of space or they're looking for a more modern facility. One example is a user or a company that supplies office furniture and different type of commercial furniture. So they import that furniture and store it in their facility and then either sell it online or through other retailers. So that's an example of a type of use that we would be targeting.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, I had one more question just for staff.
Okay.
Quick question. When will the subdivide of the property take place?
Well, that would go through Fulton County, and the city wouldn't necessarily do much with the subdivision there that I am aware of, although I could be speaking out of turn on our processes that I don't know of. I know we don't record those plats, but I could be speaking out of turn on that one.
I believe that there's a subdivision application that the applicant will
Okay.
need to submit to our engineering department. And so the applicant will get the plat and everything and submit it to our permitting department, who will route that to engineering. Our engineering department will review the plat and then send it to recommendation or denial for subdivision. So the applicant will most likely need to do that before they break ground on anything.
And if I may, I'm sorry, this is Shayla Reed, the director for the department. I want to make sure I'm confirming Marissa's statement as well as being recorded with Fulton County. And that they be the last statement.
Yeah, recorded with Fulton County?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Got it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
All right. So that concludes the applicant and questions for the applicant. Was there anybody against Ms. Jackson?
I have a comment from Shelly Miles, which says another warehouse explanation point. Not necessarily against, but that's what it says.
All right, so noted. All right, if there are no further comments, I will take a
And
motion.
I can confirm, excuse me, I can confirm we have no comments in the planning email box.
Oh, okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
And then for the record, DJ Inc. OG asked, do you have an occupant for the warehouse? And I believe that was answered by Mr. Bateman's earlier comment.
Yes, it absolutely was. But maybe just Mr. Bateman, if you can re-answer that question one more time quickly.
That is correct.
So yes, no end user yet.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. I appreciate it. All right, at this time, I'll take I'll entertain a motion for 420-004 to close public comment. Anybody?
Close. Motion to close
Mr.
public.
Dawson makes the motion.
Second.
Ms. Jenkins seconded the motion. You got that, Dana?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Jenkins. All right, all in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Any opposed? All right, Dana, it was unanimous.
Thank you.
All right, now at this time, we'll entertain, if there are no further, we'll entertain a motion on V20-004. Ms. Jenkins, I think you muted before you started talking. Or if you...
Okay, I move to approve variance request V20-004.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Ham. All right.
Mr. Ham. All right.
Now I'm getting an echo. Dana, that was Ms. Jenkins.
Dana, that was Ms. Jenkins.
And Mr. That made the motion and Mr. Ham seconded.
Okay, thank you. I got that. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna, we can do show of hands and I can just see everybody.
All right, all in favor, please show a sign of raising hand.
Great.
Any
Hold your hands up, please. Hold your hands up, please. So I have Mr. DeAndre, Ms. Jenkins, Mr. Dawson, and I'm looking for Ms. Harris. Ms. Harris.
Her hand is up, yes.
Mr. Ham. Okay.
Any opposed? Ms. Elias opposes.
1, 2, 3, 4. So you have five yays and 1 nay. It is
Correct,
approved. Yes.
All right, thank you. Also, we're on to the next one. Petition hearing for V20-005. Staff?
All right, I am back. 5370 South Cooks Road. The applicant here seeks to get a variance in the setback requirement between the M1 district and AG1. The applicant's property is zoned M1. The adjacent property is zoned AG1. The AG1 property is surrounded by industrial uses and industrial zone property and houses a longstanding non-conforming industrial use. And the applicant here seeks only to be held to the regular M1 standards. Staff is recommending approval. Under consideration A, relief would be in harmony with the general purpose of the zoning ordinance. You can go to the next slide, please. The property here you can see is industrial zone. It's in an industrial area, has one AG1 property in the middle, which again has an industrial use on it. If you go to the next slide, you'd see here the proposal is for truck parking. And I am finished. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Is there a motion to go into public comment for V20-005? Does everybody hear me?
I move that we go into public comment for V20-00.
Okay, is there a second? Mr. Dawson second. Dana, that's Ms. Harris that made the motion, and Mr. Dawson that seconded the motion.
Thank you.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. It was unanimous. Well, Mr. Dawson? Okay, now it's unanimous, Dana.
Thank you.
All right, in public comment. All right, who's the applicant? Or Nathan, who's the applicant?
That'll be Mr. Scott.
Good afternoon, board members. Can you hear me?
Okay. Please state your name and address, please.
Scott Smith. The address of the property is 5370 South Coach Road.
All right, go ahead. You have 10 minutes to tell us about this project.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, board members. Thank you for looking at our application here. We are looking to develop this area for trailer storage. I am a operating partner for 33 Holdings LLC, and in the area there are some existing truck parking locations, somewhat a little bit smaller. So that is why we have been looking in this area, found this parcel here, and are looking to have trailer storage for the area. That's it. I'm open for questions.
All right. Are there any questions from the board? All right, Mr. Ham. You're on mute, Mr. Ham.
Thought I had it all. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. How many trailers do you envision having at this location once it's constructed?
Yes, sir. There's just under 200.
Will you have access on Roosevelt Highway only?
Yes, sir. The road that comes out, South Cook Road, actually dead ends. So as you come out of the parcel there on the slide you saw, you'll have to go left, which will be heading to Roosevelt Highway only.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Elias.
Yes, okay. I think I'm a little confused. Is the property zoned M1A for a business park, or is it zoned M1 light industrial?
It's M1A, but Dana, if you will, there's a case that was, you guys have agreed upon a few years back which allows this. We're looking for just on that one side in particular, it's already zoned M2, moving the buffer back to 10 foot to effectively utilize the whole property.
Correct.
Did I confuse you on that? I'm sorry if I did.
Well, I asked the question on, so is tractor trailer truck parking allowed in the business park zoning district, the M1A district?
Dana, if you want to answer that, yes, it is. I've spoken with Dana, and under when we had conversation before, this is permitted in this area.
It was
Okay.
permitted in Fulton County, so it held its for lack of a better word, its permission.
That, okay, that
Yes.
tractor trailer parking
Yes.
is allowed in the business park district,
Yes. Yes.
M1A.
Yes.
Okay, and then for the applicant, you're requesting to reduce the buffer so that you can allow for more spaces to park the trucks?
If you can pull up that slide, then so you're looking at the if you look on the discolored area on the back side of the property, you see like the yellowish brown part on the back side there. On that other side over there, there is an existing building over there. So there's that AG1 buffer, right? So we're wanting to reduce down to the 10 foot. That's the only side that we're wanting to reduce to maximize the footage as far as the trailers backing in.
Right, so that you're requesting to reduce the buffer so you can get more parking spaces.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, hold on. I see Ms. Jenkins. Mr. Mathis, did you have a question? I thought I saw your hand. I'm not sure. No. Okay, Ms. Jenkins.
Yes, so I'm looking at the City of South Fulton ArcGIS web map. Is it possible to put that on the screen? Make it bigger. Okay, so on this web map, I don't see 5370, and from the picture down at the bottom right, it appears that 5070 South Cooks Road is a service station. Will that service station remain there, or will that also be used for storage?
Ma'am, this is Nathan, the planning administrator. I apologize again for the picture that's listed there. That was just a blip in the Google Street View. The pin and the aerial is correct, but the gas station is at the corner on a separate piece of property. So there is no gas station on that lot, and I apologize for that.
Okay. So from the web map, I still don't see 5370. It jumps like from 5345 to 5385.
Are you looking at the GIS live right now?
The ArcGIS web map.
Yes, ma'am. I am too on my computer, which is, I'm actually looking at this meeting on my phone because my internet is bad at home today. But I don't know, when I had to search for this road, because I have it pulled up on my screen as well, because I wanted to check the M1A, because I know that the map that is posted is correct. It looks at M1 in our system here. But if you type in 5370 South Cooks Road, Atlanta, it should come up, because that's what I'm seeing on my screen, and that's what I had to use to get the map that is on the screen in the PowerPoint presentation. But I do recall that it took me a while to find it in the system, as you may be having that issue right now.
Mm-hmm. So is it in Atlanta, or is it in the city of South Fulton?
No, it's in the city of South Fulton. A lot of the properties in the city of South Fulton have an address in a different city due to their zip code, which is not uncommon.
Mm-hmm. And it's zoned M1?
That's what our GIS is telling us.
Okay. Those were my only questions.
I'm sorry. All right. Ms. Elias.
So is the property zoned M1 light industrial, or is it zoned M1A for business park?
Unless there, what we have at the city to go on is our GIS mapping. So unless there is some old legal case or something in an old case file that we'd have to go dig through, we rely on our GIS. So this, to me, when I look this up, this is my source of truth.
Okay, you may want to go back and verify, because the application, well, the analysis is saying the existing zoning is M1A for business park, but then your map is showing M1 light industrial, which would be two separate types of regulations. And then even based on the information the applicant presented to us, their desire to reduce that buffer is just so that they can get additional parking spaces, not necessarily because there's a hardship that was not caused by them.
Well, can I add to that, Ms. Elias, is that it's not additional parking spaces. It's the radius in which, if you pull back up the screen, which has the layout, it is these trucks that slide further back. The spaces are the same whether regardless. It's in relationship to the trucks coming out of the space. And as we were talking before, that AG1 is right up against the M2, which we were referring to earlier when we were talking. That should be M2, which wouldn't have the AG1 buffer already. So the parking stalls are the same. It's just the maximizing the depth of the space for the trucks to have safely turning in and out of the radiuses of the truck. The parking spaces are the same. It's just so they can effectively and safely navigate through the yard.
Okay, but and then for staff, there's still that issue of what is the zoning of the property? Because that could be a major issue down the line. But I don't have any more comments.
All right. Is there anyone else that has any questions for the applicant? I'm sorry, I see you, Ms. Harris.
Yes, on the application, Western property is used as a single family residence. Is that one home? Where is that located on your diagram?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't catch all of that. I'm sorry.
It says on your application that the northwest property is used as a single family. Is that just one home?
Yes, ma'am. That's adjacent to us, correct?
And where is that on your diagram? Where is that located?
It's right on the corner of the property, right by South Cooks Road, right there where he's pointing to. He's circling.
I see. All right.
Okay. All right. Is there any other questions for the applicant? Or are there any other questions for the applicant? Seeing none. All right, Marissa, was there anyone, thank you. Marissa, was there anyone against?
Yes, sir. I have comments from two residents.
Okay.
The first one is from Shelly Miles. She says, from Fulton Industrial, South Fulton, and now Campbellton Fairburn, citizens are concerned about the property values and traffic. Just last week, a tractor trailer coming out of the parking lot where customers shop used on 92. Now the trailers are also parking on Thompson Road. You all are going to deter upper middle class to move here and retain home ownership in South Atlanta. The second comment is from DJ Inc. OG. He says, I'm just concerned with the truck route for the development. Entering and exiting from Roosevelt is hard with the trailer.
Okay. Any other? Okay.
Can I
Just
add?
so, hold on, sir. Mr. Smith, hold on one second. I want to make sure you answer the questions just to respond to those two questions. The first one and the second one, I think, are pretty much the same, but this question may help answer that one. You're saying that you're not increasing the number of trucks in this facility. So whether you get this variance or not, you will have the same number of trucks, trailers moving in and out of this facility. The only difference is within the facility, you're pushing it back some to give them greater space when they come out. Is that the case?
Yes, sir, for safety reasons, correct.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
For safety reasons, yes, sir, that is correct.
So you won't be adding any more?
No, sir.
I don't get to vote one way or the other. I just want clarification as you're not adding any more volume of trucks to this.
No, sir.
To this project. It's just moving the parking, asking for a variance to lower the buffer to move the parking lot slightly over.
Correct, yes, sir. There'll be no more trucks added.
Okay. All right, so we have, I think that answers all the questions and we've covered everyone that was in the chat. Do we have if we can go back to full screen, please. Do we have a motion to come out of public comment?
I move to come out of public comment.
All right, do we have a second? Second by Mr. Dawson. Dana, that was Ms. Jenkins that made the motion and Mr. Dawson that seconded the motion.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right, we're out of public comment. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I need to join Mr. Pearlman in this Robert's Rules of Order. I will entertain a motion on V20-005.
I move that we post till we get the information that Miss Elias, is that her name?
So you're
until
moving.
we get that information that she asked for. She had a question. She said that she wanted the staff to bring more information. So I think that maybe we should postpone this until we get that.
So is your motion to
information.
hold for 30 days? Because that would be our next meeting. Or
Yes.
If I can interject, if you give me 10 seconds to go into my email, I think I might be able to find the answer to the question that she has.
good. Okay,
Okay.
I'll give you
10 seconds.
15.
Okay, hold on.
In the meantime, I see we have a big sister watching us. Hi, Miss Reed, how are you? Or maybe she just added the picture for fun.
I think Mr. Mathis just added in his chat a motion.
I'm sorry.
I think he put it in the chat.
Oh, okay. So I did see him raising his hand. All right, well, currently we have a motion to deny. If we get a second, we can add this information that Marissa is bringing us to the discussion of that motion. So we'll entertain the motion first. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All right, so there's a motion to deny by Mr. Mathis and seconded by Ms. Elias. Now we can move to any discussion on that motion. So Marissa, you now have information?
Yes, so based on a 2016 case that we found, It looks like the property was initially zoned for M1A Industrial Park in 1974. And the intention for the property there in 2016 was to reduce some of the setbacks. When it was next to the intention was to reduce some of the setbacks for an AG1 requirement from 100 feet to from 50 feet to 10 feet. And this case was from 2016. And I believe that it was for the same property. And this says that the property was zoned M1A for industrial park, but it was intended to be used for a truck parking in 2016 before we became a city. Yeah.
So the discrepancy in the zoning map wouldn't change the allowed use in this case.
But you do need to correct your zoning map.
Yes, and this is, as a side note, this is not the first time I've come across that. So I'm glad it was brought to our attention.
Mr. Johnson, excuse me. So Mr. Mathis made a motion to deny, and the second was by whom? By whom?
Ms. Elias.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, is there any further discussion? Does that clarify your question, Ms. Elias?
Yes, it did.
Okay, thank you.
So then I need to withdraw my motion since the information was presented. Is that
Okay.
correct?
Well, we actually never got a second on your motion. So we just moved to the next motion that was made, which was a motion to deny. And we just incorporated what your purpose into the second motion.
I see.
All right. So currently the motion before us is a motion to deny made by Mr. Mathis and seconded by Mrs. Elias. Any further discussion? All right.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Jenkins.
So, but I thought Ms. Harris just said she wanted to withdraw her motion.
She made a motion and it never got a second.
Okay.
So if it never got a second, it dies for lack of a second. During that time period, Mr. Mathis made a motion, a subsequent motion. So
I didn't hear his motion.
he's having trouble with his microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So Ms. Elias alerted me to the fact that he put the motion in the text. So I read the motion from the text. And then Ms. Elias seconded the motion.
Do we get any comment from Mr. Mathis regarding his basis for denial?
All right.
So was Mr. Mathis's motion to also deny?
No, Mr. Mathis made the motion to deny.
Okay.
But he's having problems with his microphone.
And Ms. Elias seconded his motion.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
All right. And Mr. Mathis just typed into the notes, I'm not convinced that the additional space wouldn't be used for more trucks.
Can I talk to that?
Oh, not right now. Unfortunately, we've already passed the point that you can speak. Go ahead, Mrs. Elias.
Yes, and I was going to say my reason for seconding the motion to deny is because the hardship is being created by the applicant. The applicant indicated that the only reason their desire is to reduce the buffer is such that they can increase the depth of the parking spaces allocated for the truck traffic. That their design of that parking area is something that is created by the applicant. That's not an unforeseen condition or hardship that they had no control of. And that's the reason I seconded the motion for denial.
All right, any further discussion? Mr. Dawson, that gets you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, seeing no further discussion, the motion again, just for clarification on V20-005 is to deny. All in favor of denial, please say or make a
Raise
motion.
your hand.
Oh, all right, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I'll go down the line.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson Mathis. You can raise your hand. Thank you. Mr. Elias. Thank you. Mr. Ham. Thank you. Oh, that was a yes. Okay. Ms. Harris. Ms. Harris.
Vote.
No. Okay. Mr. Dawson. Okay. Ms. Jenkins.
I'm actually okay with this one.
Okay. Ms. Jenkins. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 for approval for denial, and I guess you'll ask the next question.
All right, 4 for all opposed to denial.
That'll be Mr. Dawson. So I had left Ms. Harris. What was your vote, Ms. Harris?
Deny.
Oh, vote to deny.
5 to 1.
Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 approved the denial and 1 not.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for your time.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Let's see, public comment for each case. We've already taken care of that, and I apologize, I didn't read my script here, but we'll get it right. We're still playing with it. All right, Dana, is there any further business? I see that we have another meeting in September. That will be a 2-part meeting.
A 2-part meeting?
It says, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It says zoning appeals. Oh, is that our new name? Are we doing zoning appeals and impact fee advisory committee?
Yes.
We'll keep you informed on if that's going to be part of the next meeting.
Okay. So right now,
we'll hold the slot for it. I'm sorry. I said we'll hold the slot for it.
Just in case. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you.
right now, our next zoning board of appeals meeting is going to be Thursday, September 17th at 1:00 p.m.
That is correct.
All right. Is there anything else we need to cover?
The motion to adjourn.
All right. I'll entertain any motions to adjourn well before 5 o'clock as Dana thought we were going to be here.
I move to adjourn.
All right. All in favor? Everybody said yes, Dana.
Do you have your second, please?
Yes, Miss Elias raised her hand.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all. This was not as bad as we thought it was going to be, but you know, it's our first one, so.
Hey, it went well.
Yeah, we need to work on getting the pictures a little bigger. Maybe I need a bigger screen or something like that. But other than that, it was great. Thank you all, staff, for your work that done on this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all so very much.
All right, you have a great day.
Take care, you
Thank
too.
you. Goodbye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.